Alrighty, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. It is Run Kenny Run. Did you guys see that run he had in Pittsburgh versus the Saints on the weekend? A massive run for a first down, over 20 yards. Kenny Pickett has legs. All right, guys, welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. Thank you for checking out the channel. Look, guys, I am on 935 subs, 37, something like that. If you like my content and you haven't hit that sub yet, if you're a returning viewer, you've seen me 3 or 4 times, hit that sub, hit that like, and come and join the community. I would be much appreciated if you did that. That'd be fantastic. I don't normally ask too often. I'm just trying to get that goal of 1,000 would be fantastic. And you guys would help me get there by clicking that red button or that white button, hit that sub, hit that like, and it'll be freaking awesome. Today, guys, we're talking about Kenny Pickett and the run game, and also a little bits of Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, but focusing on Kenny Pickett and his mobility and stuff like that. But I do want to go over the stats, right? We've got to go over the stats. Najee Harris and this Pittsburgh Steelers running game had 20 carries, 99 yards, 5.0 average, right? 36 yards longest. Now, that was a massive play that Najee Harris had, knocked over a linebacker, made room to the outside, and the safety came over, used his head, and almost knocked him out. He got checked up. He was all fine. He moved on. Najee got up, hard to steal, pushed on to get 99 yards. He played fantastic. Najee Harris getting 20 carries, 99 yards, 5.0 average was the old Najee we saw, the old Najee, the rookie Najee we saw in his first year. Passion, heart, legs burning, churning, just wanted to get the first down. And 5.0 or 5 yards per carry is pretty damn good to see in this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. And that's a reason why they won, okay? Jalen Warren had 9 carries, 37 yards, 4.1. He was a very good backup to Najee Harris in this rushing game. And he also had 3 receptions from Kenny Pickett from 3 targets over 30 yards. The guy can catch the football on wheel routes outside of running the football. He can. And he can also block too. So Jalen Warren is becoming a Steelers favorite in Steeler Nation. He can block, he can run, he can catch. He's north and south kind of guy. Him and Najee Harris working so well together as a duo, and the Matt Canada system and Matt Canada on the offense is allowing those two to gel. But what is also fantastic, right? And the reason why I want to talk about run, Kenny, run is this offense is also allowing Kenny Pickett to run around. But before I get into that, George Pickens and Steven Sims, they had to go on some reverses. George Pickens in the Saints game had 22 yards. Was so much fun to see him do the reverse. Now that Claypool isn't there anymore, you'll be seeing more of Pickens. You'll be seeing more of Steven Sims get the football in the reverses. Matt Canada isn't going to stop that, but I believe the players can probably execute it more than Claypool could, right? I believe Pickens is stronger, and I believe Stevenson is faster. In the rushing game, they also gave it to Derek Watt. And the moment when Deontay Johnson caught the ball, and it should have been a first down, he tackled himself back for a second and 1. Steelers went 3rd and 1, Steelers went to 4th and 1, and they handed the football off to Derek Watt. And we haven't seen Derek Watt used too much in this offense, but it was good to see him get a first down. It was good to see him get involved in the offense and also use him as the fullback and the blocker that we want to see. If the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to rush the ball more, which they did 43 times, right, in this game, 217 yards, 5.0 average, and 2 TDs. George Pickens got 1, and Kenny Pickett got 1 as well, right? It's good to see that they can use all these players. The Matt Canada system is using all these guys, not just using Najee Harris and putting the workload on him. They're using everyone. But I want to get back to the Kenny show and run, Kenny, run. Kenny Pickett, you know what? He may not have the strongest arm just yet. He may not be figuring out the right routes or a lot of pressure, blitz-wise. He's still learning certain things. But the fella can run, okay? So as a quarterback, he's going through the growing pains, trying to find his receiver. But you've also got to realize, too, that he's only been doing this from week 4, week 5. Okay, it's only been about 6 weeks, not a whole season. He's only been working with the ones for a short amount of time. He got knocked out that one game as well. Trubisky went and finished it. But things are improving in the passing game. In the passing game, he found Deontay Johnson down the sidelines for a massive catch. And he gave Najee Harris a big chance in the end zone, but he dropped it. Now, other times on the negative side, he was throwing passes to Frymouth where he was covered by 3 or 4 people. He overthrew Pickens a few times, right? Sometimes his accuracy can be way off. But in this game, what's very exciting is the ability to run. Kenny Pickett had 8 carries, 51 yards, 6.4 average, and the longest of 23. Now, this picture with Run, Kenny, Run was fantastic. If you go back to this play and you go on the highlights, look on highlights on YouTube, Steelers, you'll find it. Go and find it. If you go back to it or from your memory, you remember what's going on. The play broke down. Nobody was open. The defensive guys went too far around the outside. The offensive line guys made a hole in the middle, and Kenny Pickett found his chance. And from there, he put on the burners and just ran straight. Now, getting back to the end of his run, he didn't fake slide like he did in college, right? So there's no penalty for that. Didn't fake slide. He realized that his receivers, or he couldn't find a receiver. And once he went through his motions, and it's so fast how this league is, you got to make your decisions really quick. And once he did, he went, see you later, mate. Down the guts, I'm getting 20 yards. And although his passing may not be there just yet, he hasn't found that connection with Pickens just yet, I think, or DJ, or he hasn't found his number one guy, right? I got to believe this guy can help the run game. Because now that the defense knows that Kenny can run, or he's mobile enough to where possibly they could bring in some RPOs, or maybe they're already bringing the Wildcat, the Wildcat offense. You know, why can't Kenny Pickett keep this ball and run? A bit like mobile quarterbacks do. You got Najee Harris there. You got Jalen Warren. He could show and keep and run himself. But it's good to see that Kenny can run in situations where the pocket does break down. And we saw that in this game against the Saints. Kenny Pickett had a high of 51 yards, 6.4 yards average. Now, a franchise guy, if they're going to use Kenny Pickett as a franchise guy, you don't want to see him run all the time, a bit like Robert Griffin III, who was a fantastic quarterback with Washington, ran way too much and got banged up hit after hit after hit. But it seemed like what Kenny was doing was being smart with the football, selective in his runs, and getting down as soon as possible. In that one big run, he ran and slid and said, you know what, first down, that's all I need. So it was really good to see. Really good to see. Anyways, guys, I wanted to talk about the run today and Kenny because I thought it was pretty fun. And overall, if the Steelers are running the football, there's a big chance the Steelers can win games. 43 carries, 217, 5 yards average, 2 TDs. One from Kenny Pickett. We know he can do fourth down, QB sneaks. And we know he's pretty game to get into the end zone as well. All right. Kenny Pickett, I believe, has on the season 3 or 4 TDs rushing. Right. And George Pickens got his first TD rushing as well. So he might not be that guy throwing the football down the field, linking up, deep ball after deep ball after deep ball. But he's got a chance in this running game. If we play very similar like this versus Saints and our defense steps up, I believe this team can win. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Thank you for checking out Steeler Nation Australia. And if you enjoy my content and made it this far, hit that sub, hit that like. My next goal is 1,000. I'm trying to get the 1,000, and it would mean the world to me. If you're a returning viewer and you've seen me before, you've seen me a lot of times, but you never click that sub and you like my content, you have to like my content. If you don't like my content, don't sub. But if you like my content, then hit that sub, and I will see you later.